Hey guys, today is another new type of video and we are going to be making a fake coffin, but it's going to look like a real coffin. At least that's what I'm going for. So what we did is I had my husband come home with a couple beat up pallets, and I'm only doing a half coffin this year. I only have time for a half coffin. I don't have time to really put together a whole one. I just need a groundbreaker. I just recently purchased a Distortions Unlimited prop, and he has a flat back and he looks very like he's an eaten away skeleton. So with that, I decided I needed a coffin. Well, I don't know what is going on. What's going on with the props? What's going on with the coffins? What are these pop-up coffin things that I'm like, it's fabric? Why is this fabric? Why is this is really stupid. I can't even wrap my mind around how anybody can use a fabric pop-up coffin for anything. But hey, you know what? That's me. I know that's you, because you guys are DIY, you guys are like me, you like the horror, you like to be able to look authentic. And authentic is the way we're going. So, tonight we're gonna be ripping apart these really disgusting pallets, and I'm gonna be reassembling it in the shape of a half of a coffin. So it's gonna look like it's coming out of the ground. It's going to be weathered, and I'm gonna probably weather it a little bit more. And I'm gonna be listing all of the things that I'm using, all of the framework, because I've gotta go to Lowe's and buy a little bit of maybe 1x2s, and I gotta get some screws. So I'm gonna be listing everything that I've purchased to do this. It's not gonna be expensive, that's the one thing. You can do this probably for 10 bucks, as opposed to 100 for something that's really ridiculous. So we'll come back in a little bit. I'm gonna show you us tearing this thing apart, and then I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna be putting it back together. Okay.
I didn't want to go too far because I don't know, like, nails and stuff.
Well, when you come back, you can start here.
Okay.
And then you can go all the way up. And then I'll just...
I gotta flip it.
Yeah, try not to cut, try not to take as much.
All right.
Yeah. What's the matter? So I went to Lowe's. We got the wood. We got the screws. We got the horribly ugly boards. We've got the dead body. And I have already removed all the nails out of this. Oh, it was terrible. I spared you filming that tetanus-filled fun. It was just a nightmare. But this wood is much, much filthier than I really imagined. It's not just stained, it's really effing disgusting. I don't know what I was touching. Who knows? I may end up with some unknown, incurable disease in the next few weeks, so I may disappear. We never know. So I will be getting started on this. After looking at how much of the planks I have, he is not all that big. He only stands 5 feet tall or so. I tower over this thing. So I only bought 4 pieces of 1x2 furring for the half casket. I think I'm going with a full casket. I have the time. I did not think I have the time. I only have one more order to get out. Yes, I love this thing. I think I'm going to be able to get the whole thing done. It's not going to take me as long as I thought. So we're going to get started, and I'm not going to make this huge. It's going to be a tight fitting coffin, something that's going to make it look like, you see how his arms are real tight to the body? I want the coffin to be tight to the body to make it look like that's the way he was put in back in, I want to say the 1800s. I don't know, it looks like, you know, something he was wearing during the Civil War times. And hey, look, he must have had tetanus too. So, yeah, we're going to bring him back to his original casket. Okay, we're going to get started. Here I'm cutting my 1x2s just a little bit longer than the length of the corpse, which is 65 inches. Cutting my 65 inches, I also cut a 30-degree angle 13 inches down, so it would bevel up around the head, past the shoulders. Here I cut a 30-degree angle on just this board. This board is straight. Here I did the same on this top one. I cut a 30-degree angle so it was a more smooth transition going up. It doesn't need to be perfect, especially because it's supposed to, it'll be covered by all of this, so it doesn't need to be all that perfect. Same here. Same all the way down. And I even added some Gorilla Glue to help with stability. But I'm getting ready to put a back support. He's coming out. I'm gonna put a back support brace across the back this way, and then I'll put a second one there. I'll build a second one of these frames to be, because this is how much it sticks up. So it's probably going to be right around here. It is not going to be very tall at all. Here's really simple stuff. All I did was take some of the cut wood and I just measured it out to where I wanted it placed. So I just measured it, cut it, stuck it where I wanted to put it. I decided to go with 4 braces, well 3 actually, and I just doubled up one at the top. So all you have to do is just measure what your bottom part would be and your top piece. This is really, really simple stuff. And here I'm just taking the platforms from the pallets, cutting them out to where I really want them to be placed, and screwing them in. It is just really 1, 2, 3, and I'm screwing it into the actual frame. Here's where it got a little interesting because I wasn't really sure about what I wanted to use as the backing, because obviously the guy would fall right through. So, since I am the Tombstone Queen, I decided I had some foam laying around, and I just measured out the size of the casket, measured it out on the piece of foam, and just cut it down the size. So here we are finished. Well, okay, I'm finished building it. I still have to paint. I don't think it's too shabby. It looks like hell. It looks like hell, but it's supposed to look like hell. Let's stand it up. Hold on. Okay. Little while there. Not bad. I'll be painting the back a dark brown. I'm probably just doing some overspray on the rest of the palette. Okay, I gotta say, this is the first time I've ever even attempted to build this. It came out pretty damn good. So you figure the palette was free, 2 pallets were free. I still had leftover. So you could probably get away with doing this with 1 pallet. Palette was free. The framing, well, the framing and the nails, I'm sorry, the framing and the screws were $13. If you wanted to do a piece of foam behind him, this is, I want to say it's 3/4 inch. I think it's 1 inch. 1 inch, yeah, because this was 1 inch. I used the 1 inch, and I was going to use this. This is the 3/4, but I didn't have enough, so I used 1 inch foam. You could get away with 3/4 inch foam. You could get away with 1/2 inch foam if you can find it. And what's it gonna run you? Nothing. If you can get a 2-foot by 8-foot section, do it. The widest part here is 17 inches. I'll give all the dimensions in the description. But it's all a matter of just building the frame and then stacking the frame with the pallet pieces and just screwing it in. Do not be neat. You don't need to be neat. I did not care to be neat. Oh yeah, look at this. Who's got blue on their casket? Nobody does. So I did take pallet sections and I overlaid it because you can still see the frame here. So all I did was take the pallet sections and lay it over the frame so it hid the frame. I put some glue here and I'm going to paint over that. It's going to look good. And here's the frame in the back. You can see how I hid the frame. No, nothing's going anywhere. I don't have kids. I don't have a crazy household. This thing is put together like hell. But it's sturdy and it's going to last forever because I only use it 1 night out of the year. Not bad. Well, hopefully you guys can build something just like it. cost $13. If you factor in the foam, add another $10 to that. So for $23, you can look more authentic than a stupid pop-up coffin is. I'm sorry, that's just beyond ridiculous. All right, well, we will see him Halloween night.
It's the happiest season of all, with those holiday greetings and gay happy meetings when friends come to call. It's the happiest season of all. There'll be parties for hosting, marshmallows for toasting, caroling out in the snow. There'll be scary ghost stories and tales of the glories Christmases long, long ago. It's the most wonderful time of the year. There'll be much mistletoeing and hearts will be glowing when loved ones are near. It's the most wonderful time of